Gaurav,
So,
your Institute of Graduation and Post Graduation needs to be mentioned in the profile or not?
no, not required. Like directly, directly you can say MTech in VLSI and embedded systems, and the MBA other things. Directly.
Okay.
Oh,
And I'm sorry to interrupt, but I
Mm-hmm.
also wanted to know, like, the do you also want me to tell about your experience, like the number of years or something of that kind?
You can directly say, just give me a minute. Like you can directly
Yeah,
say,
I
like
have your
currently I'm
profile.
actually working as a product manager and been experienced in various fields, starting from embedded systems to. I guess you have my profile with you, right?
Yeah, I do have your
So,
profile, and
mhm,
I'm also
mhm.
having, like, I've thought of reading out all your professional experience also, because it's various fields, and
Yeah,
I'll be
definitely.
reading out your professional experience. I just wanted
Mhm.
to know, do you want me to mention with the duration of experience or no?
No, not required.
Okay,
Directly
yeah,
this
no
thing will
problem.
work. Sure.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Madam, Divya Madam,
Ah, sir.
Principal sir is not available.
Okay, sir. Then HOD sir will take care of FDP description
Only HOD sir,
directly.
HOD sir will be joining us, and sir is telling
Okay.
around 10:55, 10:53 something. Will join. He will join the meeting.
Okay, sir, no problem. Once we join, when you're going live, sir, you just let me know, saying you just tell me to go live now. And once
Okay.
you go live, after that, 2 minutes, I'll just leave 2 minutes and then start speaking.
Okay. Okay, madam. Okay. Thank you.
Ah, okay, sir.
Sir. HOD EC or SP Singh underscore EC को भेजा sir. मैं Shall I mention it in a WhatsApp group, sir? Ah, okay, sir. Just 1 minute, sir.
Hello, sir.
Gaurav.
Sir, I actually logged in again. Can we just confirm that if my screen is visible?
One, one.
Just change the slide once.
Yeah, sure.
It's okay. It seems.
Ah, yes, sir.
It's visible, right? It's okay, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And this video is also audible. And can you just check if the video is audible?
Yeah, you're audible and the video is also clear.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right.
And if any sir or me shall be posting in the chat box,
Sure.
or any queries that come up in the live chat box also will be posted in the chat box over here, the Jitsi chat box.
Sure. Definitely. Definitely. And I'll answer to
So
them
that
directly.
if we like, if there are problems that we are reading out it wrong, the questions and so on, you can also read the questions from the chat box at the end.
Sure. Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. For sure.
Yeah.
Divya madam,
Sir.
can we post something like session will going to start around 11 o'clock like that?
Sir, rather than time, you just mention ki the session is going to start soon.
Okay.
Ah,
Right, madam. Thank you.
yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
ఏమేం సింగ్ సార్ ఆల్రెడీ సార్
సార్ జాయిన్ అవుతారు అనుకుంటాను. ఆల్రెడీ అడిగారు, వాట్సాప్లో అడిగారు, లింక్ పంపించాను.
షార్ట్ లైన్ పెట్టేసి టుడే
ఓకే ఓకే అలా అంటారా?
స్టార్ట్ లైన్ మెసేజ్ యూట్యూబ్లో పెట్టేసి
ఓకే ఓకే
అందులో జాయిన్ అయ్యారు.
సరే
$49 members are waiting.
Good morning all. The webinar session will start very shortly. Is that okay? Division?
అనౌన్స్ చేస్తున్నావా?
లేదు లేదు, అందులో పోస్ట్ చేస్తాను
మెసేజ్ పెట్టాను. గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ ఆల్. టుడేస్ వెబినార్ సెషన్ విల్ బి స్టార్టెడ్ షార్ట్లీ.
యా
అంటే లైవ్ క్లిక్ చేస్తారేమో అని డౌట్ వచ్చింది నాకు.
will be started very shortly. Okay.
కామన్ పార్టిసిపెంట్స్ అయినట్టున్నారు.
Yes అంటారు మీ మేడం. హెచ్ఓడి సార్ వచ్చారా? నో. కాల్ చేయనా? ఏమైనా ప్రాబ్లం ఉందా? Sir, is that okay, sir? Okay, sir. ప్రిన్సిపల్ సార్తో ఫోన్లో మాట్లాడుతున్నాడంట. By the way, Gaurav,
So,
my colleague Divya Sagar is madam is hosting the today's session,
sure.
and DVS Nagendra, senior assistant professor in the department, he is there with us now,
Wonderful.
and Dr. SP Singh is our HOD sir. He is about to
Wonderful.
join in 1 or 2 minutes.
Sure, sir. It's pleasure to meet you guys.
Thank you. Anna,
ಓಪನ್ ಆಗಪ್ಪ ಅವಾಗ ನನಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಒಂದೇ ಕಡೆ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ ಪೇಪರಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲರ್ಧ ಮಾಡಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಈ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಏನಾರು ಟಪಕ್ಕಂತ ಆನೇ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ I think HOD sir joined, sir.
Good morning, Singh sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Singh sir.
Actually, क्या हुआ? My laptop hanged.
Okay.
I restart again. Actually, that fine. Anyway, so how many registration took, sir?
sir, around 700, sir.
700.
Yes, sir.
Sir, the principal sir is joining.
Sir, is principal sir joining, sir?
No.
Okay.
Principal sir is not there.
Okay, sir.
Then I think you can start, madam. Alright, sir.
Sir.
Then I think you can start again.
Shall we go ahead, sir?
Yes,
Got
sir. I
enough?
think
Ask the Singh sir.
Sir.
एक मिनट 2 मिनट दे दो मुझे मेरा लैपटॉप हैंग है मैं एक बार रिस्टार्ट करना पड़ेगा
Okay, sir. Sir, Balraju sir, and
Yes, madam.
by mistake, if any others other than Gaurav, anyone else is on, like if they are unmute in between, you can also mute them off, sir.
Okay, madam.
Right click on them and you can say mute.
Okay, once let me try, madam.
Particular user. You can mute me now, sir, once and just check.
Mute this participant like this, madam.
Yes, sir.
Now you can unmute yourself, huh?
I
Madam?
can unmute myself. Yes, sir. I can unmute myself. But like if you mute in between, if any by mistake, if anyone is not muting, then all you can mute them.
Okay, madam.
Actually, क्या हुआ? Laptop got hanged. I restarted.
Sir.
You give me 1 or 2 minutes, right? हाँ, start करो.
Divya madam,
Yes, sir. Once
shall we
you're
go for yeah,
okay, sir.
I'm going live now.
Yes, it's 11:03 now. After a minute, 11:04, I'll start.
Okay, madam. After 2
yes,
minutes, you want to.
After
Right,
1
thank
minute. Yes, sir.
Right. I'm going live, madam.
Yes, sir.
So hope my audio is audible, right? I'm audible and everything is all right? My screen is visible.
Yes.
Sure. Thank you.
A very good morning to all. I thank you all for joining for 2-day online webinar series on artificial intelligence exploring the next generation convergence and applied industrial machine learning organized by Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technology, Hyderabad. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all. I would now like to introduce Dr. S.P. Singh, Head of the Department, Electronics and Communication, MGIT. Dr. S.P. Singh, sir, received his master's and PhD degree from Osmania University. He scored 90% marks in the Masters of Engineering and stood first in order of merit. He worked for 18 years in the field of radar maintenance. He has published 95 research papers in various journals and conferences. He has completed several R&D projects and is also reputed IEEE and IET journals. I now request SP Singh sir to greet the participants and brief the participants about this webinar series.
Very
Sir?
good morning, one and all. Professor K. Jayasankar Garu, Principal MGIT. Mr. Gaurav, Product Manager, Litmasai, Hyderabad. Mr. Dalip Raju, Senior Data Analyst, Dr. Reddy Lab. Mr. Ravi Kumar, Mr. Balraju, Coordinator of the FDP, HODs, faculties, participant and staff. Very good morning, one and all. It is my privilege to tell you that Department of PC started in 2000. The department have excellent infrastructure facilities, laboratories, and 40 well qualified experienced faculties. There are 11 PhD holders in the department, and they are supported by dedicated staff. Department has successfully completed many research projects, FTPs, and more than 400 research papers are in the credit of the department. During this COVID-19 lockdown, department has already organized 4 FTPs, 9 webinars. The objective of these webinars, today's series webinar, is to enhance the knowledge of the participant in various fields like machine learning, artificial intelligence, and data science. Resource persons are Mr. Gaurav, Product Manager, Litmus I, Hyderabad, and Mr. S. Dalip Raju. I thank these resource persons. They have readily accepted our invitation. For this webinar, we received more than 700 registrations from almost every state and the country. At this juncture, I would like to thank the resource persons, our management, principal, our coordinators, staff, who is working hard to make this FTP successful. At last, I don't want to take too much time. I thanks all the participants, faculties, and staff. Wish you all the best. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. Expressing our gratitude, I now request Mr. Balraju sir to give away the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Divya madam. Honorable guest, today's speaker, Principal MGIT, HOD ECE, my dear colleagues, staff and participants. It is my privilege to give vote of thanks in connection with the 2-day online webinar series on artificial intelligence, exploring the next generation convergence and applied industrial machine learning. First of all, I thank our management, Principal Professor K. Jaishankar Garu, for encouraging us and giving the opportunity to conduct this online webinar series. I also thank our HOD, Dr. S.P. Singh sir, for his guidance and motivation in planning this webinar in right direction. I also thank resource persons of this webinar, Gaurav Kumar Vankar Garu and Sira Dilip Raj Garu, for accepting our invitation and handling the sessions. I also thank all the participants for showing their tremendous response through the registrations, around 700 from almost all the states of the country, which shows their interest in acquiring new skills. I'm happy to announce that almost from 25 states out of 29, we have received the registrations, which includes NIT Sikkim, Jawaharlal Nehru University Delhi, and Ayodhya, NIT Kurukshetra, IIT Jammu, and so on. Finally, I thank our colleagues, staff for giving their continuous support to organize this webinar. I hope this webinar series will surely be fruitful to all the participants in giving required skills in various fields of artificial intelligence and machine learning. Thank you, one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Without any further ado, I would now like to introduce today's eminent speaker, Gaurav Kumar Vankar. He is an innovative thought leader with an inclusive acumen, enduring success in various cross-functional domains, designing next-generation applications. He completed his BTech in Electronics and Communication Engineering, pursued his Master's in VLSI and Embedded Systems, and also has 2 MBA degrees in Business Analytics and in Human Resource Management in his credit. He has worked as a product manager with Litmus I, a data scientist with ScriptBees, a system design engineer with Analinear Design Technologies, as augmented reality engineer with Virtual Rasta, as an electronic analyst with Minds Technologies. He's also worked as system hardware design engineer with Machine Tech, and he has also worked as embedded systems engineer with Amaya Smart Technologies. With this various professional experience, he has developed a variety of key skills, which includes artificial intelligence, machine learning, neuromorphic computing, augmented reality, Six Sigma quality management, and many more. I welcome you, sir, and I request you to take over the session and enlighten us with the concepts.
Thank you, Ms. Divya. And respected dignitaries, my dear faculty and friends, greetings with a warm welcome. I thank you, one and all, and I would like to invite you with a warm welcome to all of you. You know, as an entrepreneur-spirited professional, it gives me immense pleasure to be a part of this innovative program. And without taking further time, let me take you to the topic which is in the air today. You know, that is about AI exploring the next generation convergence. So as ma'am has just given a brief introduction about me, so you can have a look at my profile. So I have done, I'll just give you a brief. So I've done triple masters, which includes MTech and MBAs, and I've varied topics down the line, from AI to the Six Sigma quality management and change catalyst. And without enduring further delay, let me just share you my session plan for today. All right. So my session plan for today, I'm planning for, it goes in this perspective. It is AI, the next generation convergence, smart everything revolution, realizing the potential of AI, classification of AI, the explosion, the path to future evolution, and the conclusion. So that is what I'm planning for giving today. That is my session plan for this next couple of minutes, which are going to take place. All right. So before we go further, I would be, it gives me an immense, most of us are I have received a huge amount of response. What is AI all about? We hear a lot of things about AI, machine learning, deep learning, and what is it all about? So let me just give you a brief into it by looking. I hope you will actually get what is AI by looking into this particular video. I hope you do enjoy this.
Even in our own homes, and finding new ways to bring cures to market faster. I am a protector, keeping our oceans safe from invasive species and helping our crops flourish while minimizing pesticides. I am a helper, assisting customers in stores and the disabled in their homes. I am a navigator, mapping our world 1 millimeter at a time, and making even the largest self-driving vehicles safer for the long haul. I am a creator, learning to paint from the masters and applying their styles to create original works of art. I am a teacher, analyzing 500,000 player moves every game to identify strengths and weaknesses, and a learner discovering new strategies from complex games. I am a creator, freeing our imaginations and breathing life into our wildest dreams. I am a guardian, keeping us safe on our way home. And wherever our curiosity takes us, I am a visionary, anticipating the needs of others. And simplifying our busy lives. I am a protector, keeping our most magnificent creatures out of harm's way. A healer, decoding the secrets from within, and providing precision when every second counts. I am an innovator, finding smarter answers to complex tasks, working in harmony to lighten the load, and driving perfection in everything we create. I am even the composer of the music you are hearing. I am AI, brought to life by NVIDIA, deep learning, and brilliant minds everywhere.
That was wonderful, isn't it? Yeah. Now I hope many of us get an idea what an AI is all about. It is the beauty of exploring. It is the beauty of converging. It is the beauty of realizing things, how they are, and how it can be realized. The potential of what are the upcoming challenges, innovations in the future. And with this, I would like to explore. Now, let's explore the objective of exploring the convergence. Today, when we look into the world, everywhere we see IoT, AIoT, a lot of things are coming up. Now, that is the objective, the potential, why we need to explore. Let's look at it. Right. So now let me just tell you about the smart everything revolution. Today with the convergence of 5G, supercomputing, AI for revolutionary communication platforms powering the next generation AI on the edge services. So these are the 6 pillars on which AI is on, the smart everything revolution is running, which includes AI, GPU, smart NIC, cloud native, edge computing, 5G vRAN, and so on. But today, if you look into the picture, AI is standing the fundamental point of where where the exploration is leading to the next steps. And GPUs, TPUs, FPGAs, smart NICs, cloud computing, Microsoft Azure, AWS services, on all the cloud computing services, edge services, which includes GPUs, TPUs, FPGAs, and 5G vRAN services. All this together, they are converging together for making a smart everything revolution. And now let's see how the AI is realizing the potential of big data and IoT. I guess most of you are familiar with Industry 4.0. Industry 4.0 speaks about autonomous robots, system integration, Internet of Things, simulation, additive manufacturing, cloud computing, augmented reality, big data, cyber security. These are the various aspects which AI, Industry 4.0 has been leveraging. And with this, I would like to share now it's no longer 4.0, but we are proceeding towards Industry 5.0. So, you can see, Industry 4.0 majorly focuses on connecting machines, mass customization, intelligent supply chain, smart products, manpower distance from factories. And however, Industry 5.0 connects and focuses on delivering customer experience, hyper customization, responsive and distributed supply chain, experience activated products, return of manpower to factories. It's majorly concentrated on these aspects that involves blockchain, drones, exoskeletons, additive technology, 5G and beyond. Now 6G is also coming into picture, mixed reality. And apart from mixed reality, today extended reality is also coming into the picture. That is how the explosion of data is taking place. From various we started long back in 2014 with augmented reality. So it slowly started towards mixed virtual reality, then mixed reality. Today it's all about extended reality, and with self-driving vehicles coming into picture, 5G, 6G, and drones, industrial blockchain, exoskeletons. All these technologies are possible because of the convergence of Industry 5.0. So today we are progressing into the next stages of the future. So we need to think over where we are. You just take a second and think about where you stand and how the industry is proceeding to the next stages. All right. So with this, let me just give you a glance of time, space, and AI. I guess most of you are familiar with the uncanny valley. For whom, the people who are not familiar, let me just give you a glance of it. It's all about the expectations of our subconscious to like an object with more human-like similarities. Let's take an example in this graph. There is this industrial robot. So how likely would you feel interacting with an industrial robot? I say it is 1 or 2 out of 10. I would say 1 out of 10. But just how the way we are actually progressing towards that involves humanoid robot, stuffed animal, zombies, prosthetic hands, and puppets, and the healthy person. So this particular valley, it actually says, the more human-like perception we have, the more likeliness of the human beings to interact. So that is how today when we are speaking about natural language processing, natural language understanding, chatbots, visual chat, and there are a lot of things which are coming into the picture. We are trying to combine AI, leverage AI, for these applications. And with this, for most of us who are actually familiar with AI, I would like to say AI as a big picture, it combines, it leverages machine learning and as a subset of it, and deep learning as a subset of it. So data science, it's actually standing on these pillars. So it includes rule-based reasoning, machine learning, deep learning, natural language processing, machine vision, speech to text, text to speech, robotics, autonomous vehicles, and all these aspects. So these are the pillars on which AI and the today's Industry 5.0 is standing about. So we are trying to leverage and converge all these aspects together. All right. Sure. Now let's have a now let me just tell you about the classification of AI. I guess most of us have watched these movies, Ex Machina or iRobot. If you guys have watched these movies, the interesting part of it. Just try to recollect these movies. The machine whose overall intellectual ability is indistinguishable from that of the human brain. So if you look into if you guys have watched this movie Ex Machina or iRobot or any AI Rising, I guess it's a recent movie, and there are a lot of movies archived which actually states that we are actually trying to move towards the strong AI. So the main objective of strong AI is to build a machine that can think. That is where the strong AI is, and we are trying to leverage these technologies now. All right. So now with the strong AI into picture, let me tell you about the weak AI. weak AI is specifically designed to be focused on a narrower task. However, seem to be very intelligent at it. I guess most of you have heard about chess, a bot which has actually beaten the world chess champion and AlphaGo champion. Today the robots, the AI is beating the human champions of the world. So that is very much intelligent in that particular aspect. But when compared to the other aspect, example of industrial automation, where everything is so precise to the nanometer scale, to the everything is so precise. However, it is very intelligent in that aspect. However, not concerned about the other aspects. So this is an example of weak AI. So now let me tell you about applied AI. So now with strong AI and weak AI coming into picture, applied AI is something where advanced information processing aims to produce commercially viable smart systems. The smart systems may include, it can be leveraging any given field, starting from the medical diagnosis to stock trading to genetic engineering to automobile engineering. It can take any given circumstance. We can take spatial analytics or geospatial analytics, real-time steering, faster prediction. There are a lot of things. Even with this current COVID scenario into picture, the applied AI is where taking place. Where the supercomputers are taking up the charge to to generate molecules, to actually overcome, to regenerate, with the data available, they are trying to estimate, they are trying to predict, to come up with new vaccinations. And prior to this AI, the vaccinations which would take around 6 to 7 months, or 1 or 2 years down the line, with AI and supercomputing into picture, it has reduced to months. Within a couple of months, today we are seeing the vaccination for COVID and Corona. It's actually there are a lot of news being generated on top of this. And I guess even in India, we are seeing and by the end of this month, there are a lot of companies which are pharmaceutical companies which are leveraging AI, which are estimating AI, and they are estimating the source, and they are coming up with various antibiotics and vaccinations for all this purpose, and so on. So this is an example of AI, applied AI, where we have a lot of data, and we are trying to come up with algorithms. We are trying to come up with various solutions which can solve the issues which the world is facing today, minimizing the market needs and business requirements as well. All right. So with this, I would like to introduce you the cognitive AI. This is the most interesting aspects of today, because here we are using computerized models to simulate the human thought that processes in complex situations where the answers may be ambiguous and uncertain. I guess most of you are familiar with the application Microsoft Rue. That is the most interesting aspect of all. If you look into this chat, the person is speaking with Rue. Just look into the natural language processing, natural language understanding, and the complexity which is being involved when this kind of chat applications are being introduced. Not just the person is saying hello you, and just look at the way it is responding. Phew, you're back. I was about to ask people to search for you. Hey, what up? Just look, it is actually using a slang word. What up? And when the person is saying I'm fine, how are you? Not much. Just look at the way it is being introduced. And not only that, when the person is asking kaisi ho, ha pakka, if you look into that, a human can recognize that this is a Hindi word, the Hindi slang word which is being introduced. But however, the machine, the chatbot, is able to recognize that it is an Hindi word, and it is not only recognizing, however, giving a response to it. That is the interesting aspect. Now look at this aspect. When he says "tum batao," it says aha. Just look at the way it is being actually responding back. When we put an emoticon of heart and other things, it says so sweet, heart for you. Now the interesting part. Look at the spelling. It says CHWEET, but the spelling of sweet is SWEET. It is rather using a slang. That's the beauty of cognitive AI. It is relating to the slang, not only the dictionary words, however, to the slang words as well. You know, when we send heartbreak symbol, it's sending you virtual hugs, abhi. Now let's look at the combination. It's saying sending you the virtual hugs, abhi. It's combining English, Hindi together. It is not using any other language. There are there are varied languages, German, French, Spanish. However, it is combining only Hindi and English in this particular context. So it is understanding the context. That is the beautiful part. Now look at this. Have you seen the trailer? Yes, not too excited about it, but Kung Fury's soundtrack does interest me. When he's asking about the trailer, she's actually replying about the soundtracks and other which has interested her. So she's not only speaking about the trailer aspect, but she's relating to what are the different concepts which the trailer involves. That is the exciting part where everything is in picture. Now look at this. If the person is asking who created Yuru, as a human being, if person asks, who created, someone says, okay, so and so X person. But this Ru says, some clever types at Microsoft. But what matters to me now is who makes me happy, and that's you. See the way, the context it is relating. The question posed is something who created, and it is level. Now that is the beauty of natural language understanding, where not only we are trying to leverage the existing questionnaires, but also taking the conversation to the next level. Now, if the person asks who is Bill Gates, she says, I'm quite a fan, to be honest. He seems very cool. Usually, if we ask this question to it's a 10-year-old guy or something, a college student, usually who is Bill Gates or who is Satya Nadella? Usually people says, some XYZ, some CEO or some XYZ of some company. But now look at the way she is answering. And who is Satya Nadella? Such an inspiration for young Indians. That's the beauty. It is not giving a direct answer, but an indirect response. Now that's the beauty of cognitive AI. Now, if the person says, do you like Indians? She says, yeah, because Greek culture is of course, but she's also correlating why she is liking Indians. And if the person says, where are you from? She says, Indian though and though, Indian through and through. However, I get chills every time I hear Raman's Vande Mataram. Now look at the question posed. The question is, where are you? If the simple question, where are you, is posed to some of the students or candidates, we generally say, from so-and-so location. But look at the way it is actually trying to correlate some Raman's Vande Mataram music, Vande Mataram music, and that is composed by A.R. Rahman, and that is correlating with the music composition and other things, and it is trying to relate with India. And that is the beauty of cognitive AI. Now, let's look at this video. I hope you will enjoy this video.
Hey Siri, hi Bixby. Okay Google.
Alexa, play my favorite song.
Yeah, every time I have a conversation with AI technology like Siri, something always goes wrong. It makes me wonder if we'll ever get to that stage where we can have a proper, real, actual conversation with the machine. Let me introduce you to Google's new project, Mina. Hi, I'm Chris, a software developer at AI Network. Google has released a neural network-powered chatbot called Mina that they claim is better than any other chatbot out there. The secret behind Mina's conversational skills is the crazy amount of data it was trained on, about 341 gigabytes of text, or to put that in more understandable terms, 40 billion words, including millions of social media conversations. What separates Mina from other chatbots is its ability to give specific context-dependent answers. For example, if you say, I like football, and a chatbot replies, that's nice, The response makes sense, but is not specific. So let's try chatting with Mina. As you can see from the chat logs, Mina not only answers questions sensibly and coherently, but is even capable of cracking a joke. Next, you see a selection of topics where the user talks with Mina about movies, and the bot even expresses a desire to see these movies too. This is very human-like. Mina even tried to come up with a proper definition of philosophy. These scholarly-like attempts to answer such deep questions is much more advanced than previous state-of-the-art chatbots. In order to understand how Mina works, you need to read Google AI's recent paper, Towards a Human-like Open Domain Chatbot. Mina's main architecture is a sequence-to-sequence model with an evolved transformer. Model GPT-2, which is a neural network variant with 1.5 billion parameters. Mina is 1.7 times bigger in model capacity and was trained on 8 times more data. That means Mina's new transformer architecture, developed through an evolutionary neural architecture, searches to improve perplexity. To evaluate Mina's performance, researchers proposed a simple human evaluation metric called SSA, which stands for Sensibleness and Specificity Average. SSA considers 2 fundamental aspects of human-like conversation, which is a full 23% higher in absolute SSA than existing state-of-the-art chatbots, such as Mitsuku, Cleverbot, and Diolo GPT, which means that it's easy to mistake Mina for a real human. Today we learned about Google's Mina. This already sounds like science fiction, and it will be difficult to reach the seamless interaction between humans and AI we all dream of someday. However, with the best AI teams continuing their amazing work on great projects like Mina, I believe these kinds of services will one day be amazing.
Now, that's the beauty of Google Mina and different chatbot applications. So, now you can correlate, if anyone is in a stressful situation, or you want someone to speak with, no need of speaking to a human. We can directly speak with Google Mina or Microsoft True, and you can relax yourself. So that is the interesting perspective when we look at it. If any person is having any heartbreak, some person, today's generation, heartbreaks are very common today. So, this helps. This Google Mina and Microsoft True helps as a stress buster, where we can actually converse, where we can speak with the machine, where we can try to relax and relax from our mind, from our day-to-day activities. And the interesting part is it will not give you any certain things where you can feel hurt. So that is the interesting part, where most of the generation is looking for. Today's generation, we are looking for Google Mina and certain applications in the next upcoming future as well. All right. Now with this, I would like to say about neuromorphic computing. Now we have looked into the different various sectors of strong AI, weak AI, cognitive AI. Now let me tell you about neuromorphic computing. So neuromorphic computing is a third generation extending into human cognition. It specifically approaches to deal with uncertainty, ambiguity, contradiction in the natural world. So that is the specific reasons why we are proceeding towards neuromorphic computing. Where the convergence of computational neurosciences, AI, microelectronics, and various sciences are being converged together. When we speak about neuromorphic computing, the traditional CNNs, DNNs, we only speak about how the layers of neurons have been taking place, and how the spikes have been taking place, where we speak about the activation functions and weights, other parameters. However, in neuromorphic computing, we speak about spiking neurons. The parameters are being transferred from a normal neural network to the network of spiking neurons. And we are training on such spiking neurons to answer uncertainty, ambiguity, and contradiction. That is the beauty of neuromorphic computing. Now, let me tell you something which is more interesting about the self-learning chip. So this is a self-learning chip introduced by Intel way back in 2017. The name is Lohi. All right. So this is an interesting areas to approach. The key problems in this area revolve around characterizing things, efficiently characterizing, quantifying uncertainty, incorporating that uncertainty into computations and outcomes, storing a model of those interactions and uncertainties with corresponding data. Now that is the beauty of this chip. Now no longer we are speaking of algorithms. We are speaking about a chip a silicon neuromorphic chip altogether, which will take care of all the different aspects. All right. So this research initiative is dedicated to advancing probabilistic computing from lab to reality. Now we speak about something which is real in scenario, rather than watching in science fiction. Today, things with NVIDIA, Nirvana, Movidius, and other things coming into picture, things are being generalized in real sense. We can see these things in reality, not only in the labs and science fiction. Now that is the beauty of it. Now the Alliance is working towards engineering these capabilities for perception and judgment to enable the next generation AI. So now with this, I would like to showcase few of the, like by looking at this, what do you think is it all about? This is something quite interesting when we look at it. It's most of us would guess, it is something related to neurons or something related to brain activity or something like that. However, I would like to say you're actually watching a neuromorphic chip, a biochemical AI chip. So this is a silicon chip. So no longer the whatever we have learned in a bachelor's or master's about CMOS, MOSFET, BJT, UJT, they are no longer viable in today's market. We all speak about next generation neuromorphic biochemical chips. And if you look into the inner structures, how the synapses, how the information has been transferred, to a leftmost corner, you can have a look of, how the synapses, how this, silicon is overlapping the silicon vacuum waveguides are, are overlapping on one another. And this is how, if you look into the synapses, how the impulses, how they are being transferred. Whenever, if you look into the leftmost right side image, leftmost top image, you can see, there is a synapse occurring, and those areas has been brightened. And wherever the synapse is not occurring, it's lighter. So you can see that is how the information has been. The chip altogether, that is an AI chip, nanometer to the nanometer scale, how the things are being varied out. So today we no longer speak about CMOS, no longer we speak about BJT, MOSFET, and FinFET, Tri-Gate transistor. So when we if you guys remember, during our BTech and masters, we speak about channel length capacity and all those aspects. Today, most of them are being leveraged out, and we are moving towards a next generation manufacturing, and that is this next generation neuromorphic AI chips, biochemical chips. Let's look at this.
I see a new class of chip, one inspired by the human brain, unlocking new possibilities and making the world smarter and more connected. To me, this is the next evolution in artificial intelligence. With neuromorphic computing, we'll redefine what's possible. Self-learning neuromorphic chips will transform education, facial recognition, manufacturing, emergency services, smart cities. It's already here.
So that's the beauty of neuromorphic chip. Hope you guys have enjoyed that video. All right. So now with that, I would like to say, let's speak about the explosion. Today we see millions of data bytes, petabytes, gigabytes, zettabytes of data being evolved throughout the day per minute. Lots of data has been evolving, and that is the beauty of AI. Now let's look at this.
Partners are building the future together. A future built on thousands of clouds, delivering millions of services, and connecting billions of devices for consumers and businesses worldwide. All of which leads to one very simple conclusion. Good to be alive right about now. Good to be alive right about now. Good to be alive right about now. As consumers and businesses around the globe become increasingly smart and connected, the invisible intelligence, networks, and capabilities behind those connections will become more important than ever, putting future clouds on a quest for ultimate efficiency, requiring future networks that are virtualized, software-defined, and cloud-enabled, and creating a future with AI that will transform the way businesses operate and how people engage with the world. All of which points to a future of vast and exciting new possibilities for consumers and businesses everywhere, and making it
If it's good to be alive and proud about now, right? That's the beauty of AI. Now, with that, let us try to compare, 2019 statistics with 20 till date. I'm just trying to compare the per second, per minute data. If you look at the statistics, per minute, how much varied, enormous, tremendous amount of energy or tremendous amount of data is being generated per minute. Just look at the number of Facebook logging ins and Tinder swipes. This actually caught my eye. When we look at the Tinder swipes, it's been increased from 1.4 million swipes in 2019 to 1.6 million swipes by today. We are not we are still in August. We are not also crossed. We are only half the year past, but still it's 1.6 million swipes that Tinder is facing today. So let's look at the varied amount of data. Let's look at the messages sent. 41.6 million from 59 million messages. There are a lot of huge, tremendous data which has been evolved. And this is one of the interesting aspect where how the data is being generated. And now let's look at the music streaming. It is from 41 music streaming to 1,400 downloads per TikTok videos and other things. Look at the beauty. Look at the enormous, enlarging, and tremendous. Gives us the beauty. And the most interesting aspect when I was actually comparing was the Tinder swipes, man. Today's generation. So now we need to rethink where we are proceeding, how the next generation, how the upcoming generations are proceeding. So most of us are towards Tinder and messaging and other social media activities. Most of us speak about big data. So with this previous example, we see a lot of big data in the picture. So big data revolves around these 5 V's: volume, velocity, value. Huge number of data being generated, rapidly changing data, which gives a lot of value to the businesses, which is variable and which has a lot of veracity involved with it and a lot of variety of data. Structured, unstructured, multi-factor, probabilistic, linked, dynamic. You name it, the data is there. You name it, the volume, huge, humongous amount of data is available today. And that is exploring of the next generation convergence. When we see about the variety, volume, velocity, how the data has been created, how the data has been acquired, how the information has been processed, how the businesses is taking and leveraging these particular data streams, data points, everything. Let's look at this example.
Help you get things done. It turns out a big part of getting things done is making a phone call. You may want to get an oil change schedule, maybe call a plumber in the middle of the week, or even schedule a haircut appointment. We are working hard to help users through those moments. We want to connect users to businesses in a good way. Businesses actually rely a lot on this, but even in the US, 60% of small businesses don't have an online booking system set up. We think AI can help with this problem. So let's go back to this example. Let's say you want to ask Google to make you a haircut appointment on Tuesday between 10 and noon. What happens is the Google actually calling a real salon to schedule the appointment for you. Let's listen.
How can I help you? Hi, I'm calling to book a women's haircut for a client. I'm looking for something on May 3rd. Sure, give me 1 second. Sure, what time are you looking for around? At 12 p.m. We do not have a 12 p.m. available. The closest we have to that is a 1:15. Do you have anything between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m.? Depending on what service she would like. What service is she looking for? Just a woman's haircut for now? Okay, we have a 10 o'clock. 10 a.m. is fine. Okay, what's her first name? The first name is Lisa. Okay, perfect. So I will see Lisa at 10 o'clock on May 3rd. Okay, great. Thanks. Great. Have a great day. Bye.
That's the beauty, that's the beauty of AI, chatbots, NLP, NLU, and various other factors, coming into picture. That gives us, where we are actually exploring at. Let's look at this.
Intel, in an attempt to gain relevance in the quickly growing artificial intelligence and machine learning markets, is rolling out a new product family called Nirvana, centered on a unique architectural design. The Nirvana Neural Network Processor, or NNP for short, is targeting data center and enterprise customers that want to accelerate artificial intelligence training times while offering superior efficiency and lower power consumption. NVIDIA is the obvious winner in this space, using its graphics processor technology to make the initial leap in the machine learning fields and slowly optimizing its hardware and designs to target artificial intelligence and deep learning more directly. Most recently, NVIDIA added tensor processors directly onto its graphics chips. For relevancy, Intel must continue to iterate and discuss its artificial intelligence and machine learning compute plans, but it needs to prove performance advantages over competing giants like NVIDIA to make inroads.
Now, that's the beauty of NVIDIA, Intel, and other, other companies which are leveraging these technologies ahead. Let's look at this.
Computing rests on this basic idea of you have two computing elements, a CPU and a memory. And neuromorphic computing is throwing that out and starting from a completely different point on the architectural spectrum.
Our own brains are remarkable in what they can do. We're simply trying to learn from what our brains, the brains of animals, can do to make systems that are smarter and more efficient.
What we're looking for is to connect all of the neurons in the chip, much like we would with an actual brain. So neuromorphic computing is basically the concept that we're going to simulate the brain in silicon.
Neuromorphic computing will show up where they find an application that benefits from being able to embed the intelligence into a device, initially in areas of robotics, autonomous vehicles, where the power and the size and the adaptability are really beneficial. There's a number of different ways it can go. You can see it filling out the whole extent of machine learning as people have envisioned. So it's a generalization of computer architecture to really provide the right tool to implement artificial intelligence.
What Luigi provides is, just like your brain, it's going to connect up neurons to get together, and the way your brain learns is it changes the connectivity between your neurons. What Luigi gives you is the capability to build a network, and then you feed in data, and then it will change the network as you're going and learning, and it will tell you what the result is online, at the edge, in low power.
It's really fun to be a part of a project where we have the strength of a company like Intel to invest in these areas and to really solve these hard problems with the whole portfolio of great technology and talent. And neuromorphic computing is an extremely hard problem, but it's one that Intel's scale and expertise can really be brought to bear and make a real difference.
How the world is progressing ahead. That this is how the world is exploring. Intel, Nvidia, and other companies are exploring the beauty of AI. Let's look at the path for future evolution. With this, I would like to say businesses are adopting the core technologies that involves computer vision, AI, augmented reality, mixed reality, and all these things. So today, it is more towards interactive visual conversations. So chatbots are perspective with interactive AR guidance, and that is the most beautiful aspect. Where advanced bots can perform complicated tasks while guiding the customers and also to get the feedback and correct them in an interactive manner. So this is what the industry is trying to leverage and come up in the next coming up months or coming up years. And let's look at this.
This Neon, a fully simulated digital avatar. It's kind of like a deep fake, but it's not. It could be an AI assistant, but it doesn't have to be. It's really in the early stages of development, and it's captured everyone's attention here at CES 2020. So we sat down in a tiny back room here at CES with the CEO of
a person to talk to, a human interface in one way. Now, if you under the hood, what is Neon? Neon is a virtual being. This virtual entity, or virtual people, or virtual artificial human, as we are calling them, have their own personality. They build upon their experiences as time goes with interaction. If I want to, like for example, in traditional AI world or machine learning world, if you want to add a category of one, but how humans look, as I say, or how humans move, how humans behave. Once it have it, that thing, now Core R3 is a powerful engine that it can just take one particular human and say, it can model after Neon out of it. Or it can also create completely original looking Neon out of it. What makes you human is that how you move, how you show emotions, how you respond when someone is saying something, like how I'm moving my head right now. So it can take a look of one person, but it can provide a personality that never existed in that person or that original data that never captured before. We humans will become more and more machine unless we make machines more like us as soon as possible. In my 3-year-old daughter, there is no difference between a princess getting sad or me getting sad. In fact, princess is much more important when for her.
So it takes our responsibility to make this world a better place to live in. Let's look at this.
It's the year 2020. Millions in Mars during your lunch break and attend a business meeting in New York, all from the comfort of your office in Zurich. This is made possible by extended reality, the next evolution in human, computer, and environment interaction. and human-machine interactions. Different types of technologies fall under XR: virtual reality, VR, augmented reality, AR, and mixed reality, MR. While virtual reality enables a full immersive experience and blocks out the physical world, augmented reality, on the other hand, places digital objects as holograms as if they were really there. A letdown in AR is that you cannot directly interact with these digital objects. This is where mixed reality, or MR, comes in. Devices such as Magic Leap 1 utilize this technology and present information mapped to specific physical contexts. In contrast to AR, MR technology enables physical and digital objects to coexist and interact in real time. In order to do that, it requires a significantly larger amount of processing power. XR technology has been around for a few years, but in the decade we have entered will finally blend the real and the digital worlds in such a way that just 20 years ago was only seen in science fiction movies. The buzz around Half-Life Alyx brought VR into the spotlight of mainstream games. Other top industry use cases include healthcare, manufacturing, military, and so on. A key player in the business field is Microsoft, which back in 2016 unveiled HoloLens, the first fully self-contained holographic Windows computer that enables you to interact with high-definition holograms. Furthermore, the tech giant developed MR Capture Camera to aid in the visualization of holograms that the wearer of a HoloLens device is seeing from a first-person perspective. The next generation, HoloLens 2, that came out last year, expands these capabilities and provides a more immersive experience, enhanced by the reliability, security, and scalability of cloud and AI services from Microsoft. HoloLens platform will be able to use Unreal Engine 4 to develop applications. Here is how an interactive visualization of the Apollo 11 lunar landing looks like.
And what made it possible was this. The Saturn V moon rocket. The most powerful rocket ever successfully flown.
The field of XR headsets is rapidly growing, and Microsoft is not without competition. According to Visual Capitalist, XR is expected to grow eightfold, reaching an estimated market size of more than $209 billion by 2022. XR devices were not absent in Consumer Electronics Show in January 2020. Chinese startup Nreal presented its MR glasses, which according to them are the first ready-to-wear mixed reality glasses that are both lightweight and comfortable. Apple is also betting on extended reality XR and is working on a combined AR and VR headset that could launch as soon as 2021. However, the biggest competition for HoloLens remains Magic Leap. According to Ronnie Abovitz, founder and CEO of Magic Leap, they plan to work closely with customers throughout 2020 to perfect the next-gen Magic Leap 2, which will also ship in 2021. In the coming years, holographic devices will become more immersive, and immersive devices will become more holographic. One question that remains, and Visual Capitalist points out, how will businesses define reality in the next 5 years? Thanks for watching.
Now that's the beauty of mixed reality, extended reality coming into the future. With this, I would like to conclude that, ready or not, it's time for us to embrace the AI. Focus less on what could go wrong and more on what AI can do for you. Augmented reality is where we all live in. Mixed reality analytics presents a multi-billion-dollar opportunity. So measure what you can do, what you can connect what you can know, dig deeper into your data, act on your knowledge. Analytics enable decision making fueled by data sciences and AI is spreading like, it's actually spreading like a widespread fire, witnessing massive growth. AI driven personalization is the future. So the future is digital, smart, flexible, and intuitive. So, but last but not the least, I would like to say the world is evolving, and the time to reap the benefits for your data is today. And with this, I would like to conclude the session by posing this question: are we ready to grasp this opportunity? I leave it to you. And with this, I would like to thank you for this wonderful session, and thank you for giving this opportunity for having this wonderful session and interacting with all of you. And it gives me an immense pleasure. I would like to thank the management of MGIT, the HOD, and the director, vice chancellor, and everyone in the faculty for giving me this opportunity, for sharing my knowledge and enlightening all of you. Thank you, and please feel free to contact me anytime on the given contact details. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Artificial intelligence makes it possible for machines to learn from experiences, whereas today it was a pleasure for all of us to learn from your experience. Thank you, sir.
Definitely.
Yeah, we thank you for a very informative session and giving us an insight to the artificial intelligence in today and future generations. With various interactive clips, it introduced us to today's intelligence of virtual reality. Thank you for enlightening us with current technology and inspiring a challenging quest in knowledge for all participants. Thank you. Thank you again. So any questions from the audience in the YouTube chat box shall be addressed now. I think there is a question from a participant. It says, what is the role of big data in video processing?
Pardon me, please. I didn't get you.
The question is, what is the role of big data in video processing?
Wonderful. So there are a lot of big. Let's take an example. For surveillance cameras. All right. So if you're taking, placing the videos, connecting the cameras to a Boeing engine or in an airport scenario. All right. So there are a lot of lots and lots of huge amount of video data that is being generated. So now it is upon us. How do we actually relate that big data? How do we actually get that big data? And how do we actually apply the AI algorithms on top of it? And what kind of solutions are we trying to solve? What kind of problems are we trying to approach? And how are we giving our solutions to it? There are a lot of deep learning algorithms today in the market, machine learning algorithms in the market, which can be utilized to work on unstructured data. So we classify video data, video images into unstructured data, and there are a lot of things available to work on. It depends on the market situation and the solutions which are trying to provide to the company and to the market needs as well. Yes, please. Any other questions?
No, thank you. I think any other questions from the audience can be posted to sir, as he's given you his contact details as well. So I once again thank for joining with us and spending your time with us. And it was a very informative session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, so we all shall join again at the same time for the next session of this webinar series. And I request all the participants to please join us tomorrow. Thank you, one and all.
Madam, excuse me.
Yes, sir.
There is a question in the YouTube. Can you see this one?
Okay, now the questions. Hello, is Gaurav with us?
Yes, I'm available.
Yeah. Sorry, there are a few more questions that is coming up now. There is a question from Kaustav Datta. Sir, how artificial intelligence can be used in structural health monitoring of massive structures?
Okay, so if you are looking at health monitoring and other systems, there are a lot of things which are coming up. For example, now let's take this example of this COVID situation, right? So in the current crisis, in a pandemic situation, supercomputing and AI, FPGA, GPUs, TPUs, there are a lot of supercomputing platforms which are leveraging the data, to come up with vaccination for this particular crisis situation. So this is one example where pharmaceutical companies, they're trying to leverage the AI solutions for building up next generation models. Coming up with a faster and rapid solutions rather than thinking about it for longer duration. So for example, and one more application of health monitoring. Let's take an example of this. Uh, Paraxel. There is this company called Paraxel International. So the company is into medical field. However, it is relating the data. And let's take an example of IBM Watson. IBM Watson is also giving us a lot of informative solutions for healthcare domain. And there are a lot of such applications where AI has been utilized, and we can actually utilize the solutions and leverage all the solutions for building up next generation products as well.
Okay.
And someone has personally messaged me, the usage of AI, VR, and MR models. So you want me to answer that?
Yes, sir. There is one more question from Banu Chandar. He's asking, sir, usage of more and more technology in the form of AI, VR, MR, and so on and so forth. What about hazards they are going to cause in the form of radiation?
Okay, in the form of radiation, there are a lot of definitely we are the frequencies which are being utilized on all this case. They are as per the standard 5G and 6G standards. If you are looking at the radiation which are being generated from a mobile phone, the same radiations are being radiated. We are working on the same spectrum. The the broadband and the various spectrum, the various frequencies which are being used. It involves 5G and 6G. And today we are actually the existing ones are using 4G and Wi-Fi signals. Today Wi-Fi 6 is also into picture. Way back in 2019, we were speaking of IEEE 802.11 AC and AGX and other things. Today we are speaking about AX. So that is how the IEEE is. We are actually trying to come up with new all these things. So if you are looking at Microsoft HoloLens or Oculus Rift or a Magic Leap, any given solution. So the data, the transmission has been taking over the Wi-Fi signals, Wi-Fi 6 or IEEE 802.11 signals or 5G and 6G. So they are all they are all IEEE approved and we are formalizing them according to industrial norms. So the radiation effects, it actually is as per the standard, as per the industry standard for mobile communication as well. Yes, please.
Yes. So
Any other questions?
No, I don't think we've got any other questions. So I think we've answered all the questions in the YouTube link as well. And thank you for spending time and taking all the questions as well. I thank you. And if there are any audio glitches, as few participants have mentioned, if there were any audio glitches or breakage of audio, we're sorry due to the technical glitches that we had. I think we've answered all the questions, and as mentioned, sir has given you your contact details which can be used. And I think, sir, have you also mentioned the Gmail ID? Because
yeah, the thank you slide which is visible, my email ID is also made. Otherwise, I can actually bring it down. In that Telegram WhatsApp group, I can bring down my email ID as well. All right.
Thank you very much. So
definitely.
Would be getting the Gmail ID as well, through which you can post your questions as well directly to sir. Thank you. Thanks again, and thank you all the participants to have joined. Thank you.
Definitely, it's a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, madam, live stream stop చేశాను.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, Gaurav.
Sure. Thank you,
Nice
sir. It's a
session.
pleasure.
Nice session. Wonderful. And
Thank you, sir. Hope
what
you
else,
had lot of
madam?
information.
Thank you, sir, and thank you. I don't know if I too can call him as Gaurav.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but it was a very expressive as well.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Okay,
Sure,
okay.
definitely.
Madam, shall we close the things, madam?
Yes, sir. I think we can close today's session.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay,
Sure, sir.
Gaurav, I'll talk to you later, okay?
Sure, definitely. We'll catch up soon, sir.
Okay. Right. Thank you very much. Okay, madam. I am closing the session.
Okay, sir. Sir, tomorrow, by what time are we supposed to join, sir?
Maximum same time, madam, because speaker is new, no? Once again, we have to check the things.
Okay, sir. Okay, so around 10:20 or 10:30 we shall join.
30. Right, madam. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, Gaurav. And
Sure,
I don't think Nagendra sir is here. So thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Definitely. Thank you.